Welcome back, everyone. We've had a lot of requests to dig deeper into the wow.
Signal?
It's a fascinating one.
Yeah, it really is. So for this deep dive, we're going way back to the original research papers, the astronomers' notes, all that good stuff.
Trying to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
wow, signal. It's a signal unlike anything astronomers have ever picked up. And the fact that it's never, ever been heard again.
It's just, yeah.
It's incredible. It was
Yeah.
August 15th, 1977, when the Big Ear Radio Telescope at Ohio State University detected this incredibly strong narrowband radio signal.
Right, and back then, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI, was really starting to gain some momentum.
Yeah.
And scientists were using all sorts of new tools, like the Big Ear Telescope, to scan the skies, looking for signs of life beyond Earth.
Hoping for some hints, right?
Yeah.
So can you sort of paint a picture for us? Like, what was going on that night? How did they even pick this signal up?
Well, the Big Ear, it was using this technique that relied on Earth's rotation.
To scan different parts of the sky.
Oh, interesting.
And it could only observe any given point for 72 seconds. But on that night, in those 72 seconds, it picked up something remarkable.
And it was at a very specific frequency, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It was detected at a frequency of 1020.3556 megahertz. And that frequency, it actually falls within something called the water hole.
The water hole.
Yeah, and it's a range of frequencies that scientists think are ideal for interstellar communication.
Okay.
You see, this range is relatively quiet, free from a lot of the natural radio noise that you get from space. So it would make sense that civilizations might try to communicate there.
So it's like the universe's designated chat room.
Yeah, you could think of it that way.
I love that. So they pick up this signal in the water hole, but how strong are we talking? Was this just like a little blip or something more significant?
Oh, no, this was way more than a blip. This signal was 30 times stronger than the background noise of space.
30 times. Wow.
It was this massive spike in energy. Take a look at Figure 1 here. It shows the wow signal, represented by these bars compared to the usual signal patterns you see from Cygnus A,
Okay.
which is a well-known radio source.
Yeah.
And the wow signal, I mean, it just blows everything else out of the water.
Yeah, I'm looking at Figure 1 right now, and those bars representing the wow. Signal's intensity they're way above any of the normal variations.
It's remarkable, isn't it?
And there's this note on here about asymmetry due to horn squint. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's just a technical thing. It's caused by the design of the Big Ear telescope. Basically, the two horns, or receivers, weren't perfectly aligned. So it slightly distorted the signal's appearance, but it also makes the signal even more unique.
Oh, okay.
You combine that with the signal strength and how focused it was, and it's unlike anything astronomers had ever seen.
So this is where things start to get really interesting, because it raised the possibility that this signal could be artificial, not from some natural source.
Right.
So did they have to, like, rule out any earthly sources before they could even consider that, like alien hypothesis?
Oh, absolutely. They had to make sure that this wasn't just some reflection from Earth, maybe bouncing off a satellite or something.
So like a cosmic echo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But they ruled that out. They looked closely at the signal's characteristics, its trajectory, everything. And based on that analysis, a reflection was just too improbable.
Okay.
The signal strength, that super narrow bandwidth, and the fact that it lasted for precisely 72 seconds, that pointed towards a source much further away.
Okay, so it wasn't a reflection, but what about something like a star or a quasar? Couldn't one of those emit like a random burst of energy and that could have been mistaken for an intelligent signal?
Yeah, that's a good question. And they did look into that possibility. But here's the thing. The wow signal's characteristics, they just didn't fit with what we know about how natural objects emit radio waves. Stars and quasars, they tend to produce signals across a much wider range of frequencies, not this narrow beam like what was detected.
So it's like they were looking for a floodlight and found a laser pointer instead.
Perfect analogy.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Okay, so they're eliminating all these possibilities and the mystery just keeps getting deeper. So I have to ask, where did the signal even appear to come from?
Well, based on the data, the signals seem to originate from the constellation Sagittarius.
Sagittarius, that's near the center of our galaxy, isn't it?
It is.
Wow, okay. This is getting really good. I'm looking at Figure 2 right now, the digital printout with the wow signal highlighted. But I can see what you mean about pinpointing the exact location being a challenge.
Yeah, and that's all because of the way the Big Ear telescope was designed.
Okay.
Remember how it used Earth's rotation to scan the sky? Well, that movement combined with the way the telescope was set up, it creates some uncertainty. It's kind of like trying to trace a sound back to its source in a really crowded room. You know the general direction, but
But nailing down the specifics is tricky.
yeah, exactly.
So they knew it was coming from somewhere in the direction of Sagittarius,
Yeah.
but they couldn't say exactly where.
Uh-huh.
And then, to make things even more frustrating, the signal was never heard again.
That's the biggest mystery of it all.
It just disappeared.
Vanished.
Mm.
Astronomers, including Jerry Eman, who first discovered it, they tried everything to find it again.
Mm.
But it was gone.
Wow. So this was just a one-time event.
It appears so.
Oh.
A fleeting whisper from the cosmos.
It was Jerry Eman who gave the signal its iconic name,
He
right?
did. When he saw the printout with the signal's intensity, all those numbers and letters, 6EQUJ5, he circled it and wrote, "Wow," in the margin.
I love that story. It's such a human moment.
It really is. Just pure astonishment.
Okay, so we've talked about what the signal was, how strong it was, where it came from, or at least the general area,
All right.
and the fact that it was never detected again. So I think everybody wants to know, what are the leading theories about what caused this wow signal?
Well, there's no shortage of speculation, but
Well, we've ruled out reflections, and we've ruled out the known astronomical objects like stars and quasars.
yeah.
So it seems like every time scientists tried to fit this signal into a neat, explainable box, it just wouldn't cooperate.
It's a tough one to explain.
Mhm.
It really is. And that's where things start to get, well, a little more speculative.
Okay, I think we both know where this is going. Let's talk about the elephant, or maybe I should say alien, in the room. Could this have been an intentional transmission from an extraterrestrial civilization?
That's the question, isn't it?
I mean, it's the idea that captures our imagination, right? That somewhere out there, another intelligence might be trying to reach across the vastness of space.
It certainly is a tantalizing possibility. And to be honest, wow, signal. It really does tick a lot of the boxes that SETI researchers look for.
Oh, how so?
Well, the right frequency, the strength, and it seems to be coming from beyond our solar system. It's like someone was shining a cosmic flashlight directly at us, just to say, hey, is anybody out there?
And then, of course, the fact that it's never been heard again, that just adds to the mystery.
Exactly. It's almost like a cosmic tease.
So, okay, let's play devil's advocate for a second.
Yeah.
Some people might say that assuming the signal was intended for us is a bit presumptuous. What would you say to that?
Well, it's true. We are making some assumptions, right? We're assuming that an alien civilization would even want to contact us in the first place, and that they would use radio waves to do it,
Right.
But the fact remains that this signal is unlike anything we've ever seen from a natural source.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something we can't just ignore.
So let's say, just for the sake of argument, that it was a signal from an alien civilization. What kind of challenges would scientists face trying to interpret it?
Well, the biggest challenge, I think, is the lack of information. We only have that one 72-second burst to work with.
Right.
And without any repetition, any additional context, it's incredibly difficult to decipher any meaning.
So it's like trying to understand a foreign language based on a single word.
Yeah, exactly. Like, imagine trying to decode an entire civilization's history and culture from just hearing the word hello.
That's a great analogy. So it would be an incredibly difficult task, but is it impossible?
Not necessarily. Some researchers have been trying to analyze the signal structure, the patterns, looking for any hints.
I mean, what kind of hints?
Well, they've looked at the sequence of numbers and letters that represent the signal's intensity, searching for any repeating sequences or mathematical relationships. Something that might suggest a deliberate message.
So it's like trying to find a common thread, a shared understanding between our civilization and one that might be vastly different.
Right. We're looking for that universal language, something that transcends the boundaries of different species.
Has there been any progress, any leads in deciphering a message?
There have been some interesting ones. One researcher suggested that the signal structure could be related to the Fibonacci sequence.
The Fibonacci sequence?
Yeah. You know that mathematical pattern where each number is the sum of the two preceding ones?
Oh, right, of course.
So like 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and so on. It's found all over in nature. And if signal incorporates this sequence, well, it could suggest that there's a universal language,
Huh.
something that goes beyond just us.
That would be incredible.
It would. It would be like finding a cosmic Rosetta Stone.
It would be like a key to unlocking the secrets of the universe.
Yeah.
But even if we can't decipher a message, the very fact that we received such a signal has profound implications, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. The wow signal, whether it's from aliens or not, it's forced us to really confront this possibility that we're not alone.
It's like a wake-up call from the cosmos, right?
Right.
Reminding us that our planet is just one tiny speck in a vast and mysterious universe.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe somewhere out there are other civilizations looking up at their own night sky, wondering the same thing.
It's a humbling thought. So what now? Where do we go from here? Do we just keep listening and hoping for another signal, another glimpse into the unknown?
Well, in science, we don't usually just sit around and wait for things to happen.
Right, we got to be proactive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the wow signal, it was like this catalyst, it pushed SETI research forward in a huge way.
So we got this little taste of something extraordinary,
Yeah.
and it made us hungry for more.
Exactly. It spurred the development of all these new radio telescopes, way more sensitive than the big ear.
Oh, wow.
So now we can scan the skies with much greater precision and over a wider range of frequencies.
So our cosmic ears got a serious upgrade.
They did.
And all thanks to that one brief signal back in '77.
Pretty amazing, huh?
It is. Are there any projects right now that you're particularly excited about in terms of searching for extraterrestrial intelligence?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's this project called Breakthrough Listen.
Breakthrough Listen.
Yeah, it's a privately funded initiative, and they're using some of the most powerful telescopes in the world to conduct these comprehensive surveys of the sky,
Cool.
looking for any sign of artificial radio signals, the kind that might indicate an advanced civilization.
It's exciting to think that we might be on the verge of another big discovery, maybe even another wow signal.
Who knows?
But this time we'll have all this amazing technology to help us unravel the mystery.
Right, we'd be able to gather so much more data
Yeah.
and hopefully get some real answers.
That would be incredible.
It would. But even if we don't find another wow signal, all this knowledge, all this experience we're gaining, it's incredibly valuable.
Yeah.
We're learning so much about the universe, refining our methods.
It's really pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing to think about that one signal, all those decades ago.
It's had a huge impact.
It's really changed the way we look for life beyond Earth.
It has.
Yeah.
And it's challenged us to think bigger, to embrace the unknown.
To not be afraid to ask those big questions about our place in the universe.
That's it. It's a reminder that the universe is full of wonders.
Yeah.
And we're just scratching the surface.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the wow signal, what's the one thing you hope our listeners take away from this?
I think it's this never lose that sense of wonder.
I love
The universe is this vast, mysterious place, and there's still so much we don't know. The wow signal, it's a perfect example. It's a reminder that there are mysteries out there waiting to be solved, and that the search for answers is just as important as the answers themselves.
Well said. And who knows, maybe one day we'll have another deep dive, but this time it'll be about the definitive solution to the wow signal mystery. But until then, I think we can all keep looking up at the stars and imagining the possibilities.
Keep that curiosity alive.
Thanks for joining us, everyone, and until next time, keep exploring.